Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thanks to the EPIC user groups for this opportunity and for conducting the EPIC Database Days 2022. Special thanks to Francisco for organizing the sessions and setting up the schedule and doing all the work there and their team. Today, I'm going to talk about destination Oracle database, ways to get there, the database upgrade methods, and then what we need to consider before doing an upgrade. The session is pre-recorded because I'm right now, when you are listening to the session, I'll be on a plane traveling to India. So sorry about that, but I wanted to do this for you and hope this will be beneficial to you. And again, thank you for listening to the session here. Okay. A little bit about me before I start the session. My background is pretty much Oracle Database and Oracle Business Suite. I'm a principal. Oh, that's my old job. Sorry. I lead the Oracle practice at Data Intensity, and I'm an Oracle East director. Nowadays, I concentrate mostly on the Oracle migrations to the public cloud with the hyperscale cloud providers like Oracle, Azure, AWS clouds. I have a blog and a small website, bijus.com, and I'm active in the social media, Twitter, Facebook, and I have written a few books, and they are kind of old right now. A little bit about Data Intensity. We are 100% Oracle shop. We manage the Oracle databases, Oracle e-business suite, anything Oracle on any cloud. OCI primarily, but we also manage Oracle on Azure, AWS, and any private cloud. We have license management services. We have functional e-business suite functional services, and we also manage and configure and performance tune Oracle engineered systems as well. So more information can be found at dataintensity.com. Okay, so that's about the company and about me. When do you plan a 19C upgrade? I mean, is it if you are still running a 11G or 12C or 18C database? I mean, is it time to upgrade to 19C database? I think so. I mean, I think we are a little too late. If you look at the support position and look at the yellow line, 19C and 21C are the only databases in that teal color where we have premier support. And 12.102 is pretty much out of support. The database 11.204 has a little bit of market-driven support, but it is also out of support. 18C out of support. 12.201 pretty much out of support. And so we have 19C is the only database, and 19C and 21C are the supported databases. 21C, as you know, is the innovation release. What innovation release means a short-term release. Any new features, things like that, and Oracle want to release to us quickly. So that's where we have the innovation releases. We are not recommending every customer upgrade to the innovation release, because if you have a reason to use some of the new features available only in that release, then you upgrade to that 21C. Otherwise, you stick with the long-term release until the next long-term release comes. So the current long-term release is 19C. The next long-term release, according to what we hear today, is going to be 23C. We don't know for sure, but that's what we hear today. So once you upgrade to 19C today, or any time 19C was released in 2019, end of 2019, early 2020, it became a GA. So it's more than 2 years now. 19C is available, and if you haven't upgraded to 19C, I mean, it's high time to upgrade to 19C. That's the only supported database. So If you have not upgraded, I mean, start planning the upgrade. There may be a reason for you that you haven't upgraded yet. It may be that the application doesn't support, or but check with the application vendor. Most of them should support 19C already, or I mean, if you do not have Oracle support and things like that, that's a different story. But if you have Oracle support, yeah, if you're allowed to upgrade and the application supports 19C, please upgrade. I mean, this is the right time to do it. And this is just a table format of the same information we saw in the previous chart here. Again, 12.1, the 12.102 database extended support is until 31st July 2022. I mean, that's a new date. I believe my previous slide had a shorter window there, but again, this is the database has extended support till 31st July 2022. So you upgrade I mean, if you have extended support today, then that's good. I mean, you're good till 2022. Otherwise, you are already falling into the sustaining support for 12.102. But 19C, as you can see here, you have support till 2027. That might I mean that support dates could very well change. It's not only the database versions, right? I mean, if you have to upgrade to 19C, you have to be on Linux 7, for example. I'm not talking about the Solaris or other uh, Unix operating systems here, but because majority of the systems are running on Linux. Let's look at the Linux system support here. So Red Hat 6, Red Hat 5 is totally out of support. Red Hat 6 is currently on extended support. So if you are running 11G database or 12C databases, I mean, there's a possibility that you are on Red Hat 6 or Red Hat 5, hopefully not. But if you have to upgrade to 19C, you have to be at least Red Hat 7.4. Upgrade to 7.4 or above. I would recommend you go to Red Hat 8 or OEL 8. Um, that is got a full lifetime remaining with the support there. I mean, you can see the green long green line. So there is an operating system upgrade may be involved. That may be a reason why you are not upgrading today, because it is not just a database upgrade. You might need to go through an operating system upgrade, and you may not be doing the in-place upgrade. You may have to find a new hardware or new VMs, or you are planning to migrate to the cloud. I mean, whatever may be the reason, there may be an OS upgrade involved during the database upgrade. So let us look at the 19C upgrades task. I mean, what are the different tasks involved when we say it's a database upgrade? I mean, usually, I mean, the DBAs know what is involved, but outside the DBA world, I mean, especially if you're talking to managers and people, what's the big deal in upgrading a database? I mean, you just download the software and run DBUA or whatever, and then click upgrade, then you are good, all right? That's not entirely true. Let's see what are the stages involved in database upgrade. So here is a little flowchart on what could be involved, what steps could be involved in the database upgrade. So if you are on a Linux system, there may be an upgrade involved. Let me go with the pointer here. So there may be an if you are on Linux system, and if you are on 5x or 6x, you may have to upgrade the OS. If you are on a Solaris system, if you are on 11.3 or 11.4, then that is good. If it is not, so if you are not on Red Hat supported release, if you are not on Solaris supported release, I mean, I'd say, discuss the options with the DBA, and there may be other avenues. I mean, like how we can upgrade the database. But if you're on a Linux, let's look at the Linux path. So if you are on a Linux path, I mean, you can stage the database 19c software, and if rack or ASM involved, you upgrade the grid infrastructure first before you upgrade the database. So you have to upgrade the grid infrastructure before you upgrade the database. Then you validate and stuff like that. If you are not on a supported version of the operating system, then you look at the. I mean, you can probably upgrade the OS and go for sorry, for most customers. And in our company also, we don't really recommend upgrading the operating system from a lower version like Red Hat 5 or OEL 5 to OEL 7, or OEL 6 to OEL 7. So you will have to most likely provision a new server or a new VM with the Linux 7 or 8, and then you stage the software, you install the software, you install the grid infrastructure, and then you migrate the database. So that's another step. Then the migration could accomplish a 19C upgrade inherently. We will review that, how that happens, or you upgrade the database and then you act. So you can see here, I mean, depending on the operating system version, I mean, the steps could be different, and whether you have rack or ASM involved as well. Then the upgrade, the migration stage. And if there's a migration involved, what is involved? What is involved in the migration? So if there is if the databases are these versions like 11.204, 12.102, 12.201, or 18C, then I mean, these are all the direct upgrade supported versions. So I mean, if it is a production database, I mean, we wanna minimize either the cutover time or the cutover outage window. So the upgrade outage window for the production databases. So we want to, if it is a production database, I mean, what we recommend is you create a standby database on the new server, and then you replicate the database, and then you upgrade the database. If it is not a production database, and you can take enough outage to the migration. I mean, the database can be down during the migration. You can use the RMAN backup and restore to the new server. Then you go through the upgrade DB section again. So, but if the database is smaller, for example, if the database is less than 1 TB, I mean, this number can be different for your situation, but I'm just using an example like 1 TB here. If the database is less than 1 TB, it may be cleaner and easier just to do an export import of the database into a 19C pluggable database, into a 19C pluggable database. That way, I mean, you don't have to go through the upgrade cycle. The migration accomplishes the upgrade during the export import process, or the EXPDP, IMPDP, the data pump export import. So you could consider that as well to migrate and upgrade in one shot. Then finally, the upgrade stage. The upgrade stage, again, if you are on a direct upgrade supported version of the database today, you can upgrade to the 19C database directly. If you are not on one of these versions, you will have to upgrade to a version, one of these versions, that is an intermediate upgrade. Then you upgrade the database, and auto upgrade is the recommended upgrade method. So you run auto upgrade, different stages of auto upgrade. Then auto upgrade also can convert the database to a pluggable database, because that is the architecture we want to get to, because the non-CDB architecture is not available in 21C or beyond, and it is deprecated since 12C. So even if you have only one database, I mean, highly recommend you go to the pluggable database architecture. Then it's not just the database upgrade, right? Even if you have other components like Apex or Bragg or DataGuard or Golden Gate, I mean, all of those services need to be configured as well. I mean, they are all part of part of the upgrade. So, I mean, you can see that it has to be planned properly. So there are different things you have to consider, and auto upgrade is a great tool for this. And the same scenario. I mean, if it is an e-business suite database, for example, you won't be using you will not be using auto upgrade there. I mean, there are very specific procedures for to upgrade a 19C database. Then you have to run the auto config and configure the e-business suite application at various stages. So the flowchart looks pretty much the same, but you have other components in between, like EBS auto config here, EBS auto config here, and EBS gather stats and stuff like that here in between. So depending on the EBS database, I mean, the steps are a little bit more, but similar step. But you have to configure the application in between. Like especially when you're migrating the database, I mean, you have to shut down, do the migration, then configure the application to work with the migrated database before you upgrade. Then you upgrade the database. So things like that you have to take care in an EBS database migration. I want to share a real-world migration decision tree. I mean, I was working with a customer, a large customer. They were planning a cloud migration. In fact, they were migrating to Azure Cloud, and they had multiple versions of database, I mean, anywhere from 10G, I mean, 9i 10G databases to 12102 databases, and they wanted to migrate to 19C and to the cloud. And if not all applications support 19C in their environment because they run several legacy systems, and some of the systems they do not have better support on the application side, so they want to keep it as is with minimal changes, and they wanted to migrate everything to the cloud with the supported version. So the minimum version they want to go is 11.204. If the databases cannot support 11.204, I mean, they don't want to migrate to the cloud. So this is a decision tree. I mean, like at a high level. So what are the? I mean, if it is less than 11.2, if the version is less than 11.2, the path is like, okay, use data pump to get to like 12.102 database probably, or 11.204 database. If it is 11.2.0 version, I mean, you can do an rman at a patch and then get to 11.204. If it is 11.204, I mean, if they want to keep the same version, these are the minimum versions they can be here. But if they want to upgrade to 19C, I mean, all of these databases, I mean, we recommend using data pump because these are coming from AIX, SPX, Solaris systems. So data pump would be the easier method to get here, or we can also do cross-platform RMAN copies as well. So this is at a high level, and the same flowchart we saw earlier. I made a different version of the flowchart. So here for this customer, and I modified this to eliminate some of the items here. But at a high level, it looked like this, right? I mean, upgrade the database to 19C. When it is coming from SPX or Solaris, upgrade the database to 19C. Yeah, if the application supports a 19C database and they are ready to upgrade, then we look at, okay, what is the database size about 2 terabyte? Here you see, like, instead of 1 terabyte in the earlier chart before this customer, we identified the database size as 2 terabyte. And if the database size is over 2 terabyte, I mean, there is no question asked. You do data pump to get to 19C. If the size is greater than 2 terabyte, if the database is 11.204, then the database is at least 11.204, then you use data pump. If it is 11.204 or above, we can use RMAN cross-platform transportable table spaces, and then upgrade to 19C, and then convert to a pluggable database in 19C. So you can see, like, I mean, if it is If there is no upgrade involved, I mean, we look at the database sizes and different migration methods here, right? So this is a real world flow chart which we use for a customer. Same for like Linux, Windows database decision tree. And again, I mean, don't copy this, and this is not a Bible, or this is not a methodology. I just want to show you an example of the different methods to migrate and upgrade the database when you are migrating to the cloud. And quickly, the upgrade methods. In whatever upgrade method you choose, I mean, like you always have to download the 19C software, install the latest patch, install the software, and apply the latest RU release update. Okay, so that step doesn't change. I mean, no matter which platform, no matter the upgrade method, this doesn't change. So this has to be done. Now, looking at the different upgrade methods, auto upgrade is the one recommended by Oracle, recommended by me, and most people, because it is so easy. I mean, it has automated a lot of DBA manual tasks for the DBA, and it has built in a lot of validation and things like that. So again, the recommended way to upgrade the database to 19C is auto upgrade. The source database can be 11.204, 12.102, 12.201, 18C, 19C. I mean, wherever the direct upgrade is supported, those databases supported by auto upgrade as well. And the target version can be 21C or 19C. I mean, it can even be auto upgrade, can even support your 18C or 12C upgrade as well. But why do that? Just go to 19C. And auto upgrade supports all architectures like CDB and the non-CDB architecture. Even though I would recommend you go to the CDB architecture with the pluggable database. It supports all the operating systems. I mean, like the legacy Unix operating systems and Windows, Linux. It supports the Enterprise Edition and Standard Edition. It also supports a rack database also. So all of that, when you download the 19C software, I mean, the auto upgrade is included with the software, but don't use that version. I mean, you always go to the Metalink note displayed here, and then download the latest auto upgrade tool before you run the tool. So, as mentioned, the auto upgrade can also perform a non-CDB to the PDB migration. And so it will convert the database from non-CDB to PDB in a single operation, or it can do upgrade and then convert to a non-CDB database to PDB in a pre-existing CDB. I mean, if you already have a CDB, you want to upgrade the database and convert to a pluggable database and then plug into an existing CDB, it can do that as well. So basically all the plug unplug operations, rack, and it can also support. It also supports data guard environments as well. So auto upgrade the stages. I mean, there are different predefined stages, and these are the tasks involved in these stages. I mean, it is a Java program. There's a jar file, the auto upgrade.jar. I mean, that's what, and there are different commands available. There's a config file which you update with your configuration. That's what the auto upgrade tool reads and then performs the task based on the instructions or parameters in the config file. So there is the analyze phase. We always run the analyze phase. The analyze phase will do the setup and then do the pre-upgrade utility, and then it shows you the things that need to be changed or updated or configured before you can upgrade the database. Then fix-ups is whatever the steps identified in the analyze phase, and it can fix all of those problems in the fix-ups stage. Then deploy is the actual upgrade. It is the actual upgrade. I mean, so the deploy, if you do the deploy, I mean, it pretty much does all the stages, right? It does everything for you. But if you want to break it down into analyze, fix ups, and upgrade, I mean, that's a better way. You can do that. So you can do you run the analyze, then you run the fix ups, then you run the upgrade. Okay, that's how it should go. And yeah, so those are the different stages available. And in each stage, and especially the analyze stage, the pre-upgrade report comes in an HTML, text, and JSON format. I mean, you can use those reports to see what the problems are. Uh, the standby database also can be upgraded using this method. So uh, with the standby upgrade will be like, I mean, there is a parameter in the config file. I think it's config underscore standby underscore log shipping equal to yes. You change that parameter to yes, so that will keep the standby offline during the upgrade. So then that way, I mean, your standby is available, or I mean, that will be your failback. I mean, so the standby doesn't have any changes from the production system. Um, then you move the standby database to a new Oracle home after the upgrade, and then you resume the log shipping, and then it will automatically upgrade the standby database, right? But it is slower, but it is a safer method to do the standby upgrade. Auto upgrade can also do unplug and plug PDB. So if it is a multi-tenant database, you already have a pluggable database. This can unplug and plug. So basically, you specify in the config file the source home, the target home, and the database SID, and the target CDB. I think the parameter is called target underscore CDB. So you specify the CDB name there. It will plug into that CDB. So the Java command would be like Java minus jar auto upgrade dot jar config the config file, and won't deploy. But the same thing. But you specify um, the, the parameters in the config file. Sorry. You can always do a data pump to migrate and upgrade the databases. So this is ideal if you have databases that are below 11.204. Then data pump, and if it is above 10G, you use data pump. Otherwise, you may have to use the traditional legacy export import, EXP and IMP. They are still supported for 19C, so you can use that. So there are some links in my presentation. I mean, I'll send the presentation to Francisco as well, so you can upload with the content in the portal. So you'll have the presentation available with the links to read more about these methods. So data pump is another method. Another method is cross-platform transportable namespaces. I mean, you can use cross-platform transportable namespaces to upgrade the database. So basically, if you are going from Little Indian to Big Indian or vice versa, then you have to do an arm convert in between. Otherwise, I mean, if it is the same Indian format, your source database is here, your target database is here. So you copy the database, and then you use the transportable namespaces to get to the 19C database. So this will be your 12C database, and this will be your 19C database here. So you can use this method, and there is a couple of links here to read more about this method. Then you can always migrate to autonomous database or OCI. That migration itself will upgrade the database to 19C because the autonomous database by default is 19C version. You can also provision at 21C, but 19C version is available. You can use the database migration tool, the MB to ADB. That's the migration tool. that will migrate the database to OCI, autonomous database, and then the database will become 19C. That is another method. And the next section in my presentation is about some of the 21C features. I mean, if you are thinking about going to 21C because you see some features are available or released in 21C. Um, and since the next long-term release is going to come only after 4 years or so after 19C. So what Oracle has done is, I mean, they have backported several nice 21C features to 19C. So we'll see some of the features that are backported. The best location to find all the features are like the database new features app. The link is there at the bottom, like the apexoracle.com /database dash features. So there on the left hand side, I mean, you can filter by 19C, 21C, and then filter new features only. And where you see, I mean, it will show both the 19C and 21C new features. But wherever you see a check mark for both the 19C and 21C, that means, I mean, that 21C feature is backported to 19C, and you will see a version below that 19C, like which are you. This feature was introduced in 19C. You will see that there. So some of the features are the DBMS cloud package that is available. So using the DBMS cloud provides functionality that goes beyond the TTL and fully compatible with Oracle Autonomous Database, Oracle. Uh, uh, so recommends using DBMS cloud for the external table creation and things like that. So you can use that. Database in-memory base level, that's a free feature. You do not have to pay for the in-memory. If you and you can try in-memory with up to 16 gig of memory allocated for in-memory feature. So up to 16 gig is called the base level. So you can enable that in 19C database. It is from 19.8. It is available. Similarly, another cool feature is the gradual database password rollover for applications, where you can set a time like where both the old password and the new password will work, so that you have time for the applications to slowly cycle and change the password. So you don't have to necessarily take an outage. You can define a window like for 24 hours, both the old password and the new password will work. And so that way, you can do a gradual rollover for the password. And there are other one of the big features of 21C was the blockchain table. I mean, blockchain table is available in 19C from 19.10. Then similarly, like grid infrastructure, switch home, or SQL macros, I mean, those are all available in 19C. Um, and the new features guide, the 19C new features guide, that also has sections, new features in 19C release updates. So there is a section, chapter 2 is like in release updates. So these are all the most of the features are backported from 21C, but there are some features that were introduced in 19C in the RU or in the updates, in the quarterly updates. So you can see those features in this document, and you might find some cool features over there as well. And it's now 35, 40 minutes. Yeah, I think I was going a little bit faster because I thought will have more slides to cover or more time to cover. But anyway, since this is a recorded session, I know we don't have time for like live Q&A, but you can always reach out to me through the MyComu portal. the speaker portal where I can answer any specific questions, or you can always reach out to me, bithomas@datadensity.com. That's my work email. You can always reach out to me in the social media channels as well. Um, but this is my contact information, and that's what we have today. And, that's my last slide. Thank you. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Sorry for some confusion in the beginning because I was watching multiple screens and then not talking properly. But sorry about that. Um, but hope you all have a great day. Um, Thank you.